What up, friends? How are you doing? So, I wanted to do a video. By the way, hi, how are you? Hi, hi. Hope all is well on your end. Okay. Hang on, I got something right here going on. Okay. All right. So, I just got out of work. I'm so freaking tired and I'm fighting away the sleepies, okay? Trying so hard not to fall asleep because I wanted to talk about this actually as it pertains, okay, look, all I'm gonna say is, look, okay, nobody panic, nobody worry, okay. Liv put a restraining order on, or something like that. Some sort of legal documents were filed against Gerard, the ex-husband of Liv. Okay, and I this is actually for Gerard, and I live here in the state of Texas, and I wanted to talk to him about something. So just calm down, okay? She can do all she wants to try and just these restraining orders and whatever. My question is, did she tell the judge that there was already she already lost custody? Like, I'm wondering if the judge knows that she lost custody already, and I hope she's ready and has money for a lawyer, or her people have money for a lawyer, because she just opened up a can of worms that I don't know. She's gonna want to, once you open Pandora's box, I don't think you want to do that. She's gonna play stupid. I can imagine, like, what? Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that me already losing custody was a thing. Or whatever their agreement is, which I think I don't know if it's she lost custody or what, but Gerard has she has visitation basically. He has he has the children majority of the time. So I don't know what the hell she's thinking, but let me tell you from my experience. All I can tell you is what I've been through. As you guys may know or may not know, my son is adopted. Okay, so I have a crazy baby mama too, just like this one, just like that one right there. You give her an inch, and she wants to take a whole fucking mile and act stupid the whole way. Okay, so my baby mama, which is my son's birth mother, was crazy like this. She was act stupid like this. And you know what, Gerard, do not at all give her any leeway. You don't be the nice guy. You can't be the nice guy with these kind of bitches. You can't, okay? Because you know how long I played by my baby mama's rules? One day. She had one appointment to miss, one time to act stupid, and I was like, no, we're not playing this game. We're not going to play this game. This is what happened in my situation, okay? So I got my son when he was born. He was fresh out of the hospital, 2 weeks out of the hospital, and he was he couldn't be released in his mother's care for whatever reason. We're not going to get into that, okay? And so I had to go pick him up from the hospital, okay? So they told me we have to communicate, okay? I already knew the kind of games that she had, played in the past with her other children. So I knew what I was getting into, okay? This is why I was the only option for my son. Nobody wanted to play her games. Nobody wanted to be, fucking with her, cuz she is a whole lot of drama, just like Liv. A whole lot of drama, a whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of bumping gums, a whole lot of threats and nothing. A whole bunch of bark and no bite, basically. Okay, she's just a whole bunch of shit talker. That's exactly like my baby mama. Okay, that's exactly how she is. Okay, so my son had his first, the first appointment after 2 weeks after being released. He has to go get a follow up, see how he's doing, get his shots or whatever. Okay, so we're gonna do that. The one request I tell this heifer, I tell her, I work. Okay, please you don't do shit all damn day, but lay around, stay laid up, make the appointments, because I was originally gonna let her come along with me to the appointments. This fucking bitch goes and makes this appointment during my work hours. One thing I do not like is missing work. I wasn't gonna miss work for this fucking bitch, okay? And then one missed appointment or one visitation that she missed, guess what? No. Now we're gonna do the visits at the visiting center, and we're doing all communication through CPS, because I'm not playing this fucking game with you. I'm not. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do it. And that's when the shit fucking stopped right then and there. Now, mind you, We did get into a physical altercation during the adoption process, and I didn't face any charges or anything like that. That was because of her, not because of me. I was defending myself, okay? But this, I was able to actually physically kick this bitch's ass and I still kept my son, okay? Because I wasn't the one that did anything. I was defending myself. So Gerard didn't do anything to Liv. It was a third party. So she, depending on the judge, may she may get into trouble for these false allegations because he didn't do anything to her. Now, if there she has video of Gerard laughing and whatever, or they obtain security footage from the mall or witnesses or whatever. Unless the witnesses show up, they can't be used, just by the way. But unless she has proof that he was telling her to go and do this and go do that to her, she can't do anything with it. You can't just assume somebody is, you can't just, you have to have proof. You can't just say, oh, he was telling her to kick my ass. Where's the proof? You have to show me proof that he was saying, he was telling her or egging her on. You can't just assume what people are thinking. You have to have actual proof. My opinion, I think all of this is going to be thrown out. I don't think that this is going to lead anywhere but get her in trouble. Now, I think she was plotting this because we all know she don't want to be here in Texas. Some people just don't like Texas, okay? They just don't like it. People want to stay far, far away from here. I had an uncle that was like that. He didn't like being in Texas. She might be one of them. But I don't know what she was thinking, not getting an attorney, like from the beginning. So now, guess what? She's going to have to get an attorney because I don't think she's going to be able to represent herself because she doesn't even have proof on anything. She is just assuming that he was egging her on, this girl, this sister-in-law or whatever she is to him, to kick her ass. They just happened to run into each other like by coincidence. As long as Gerard stayed a far distance away, because most of the time it's hard to obtain the security footage. Like if your car gets broken into, what does the manager tell you? Oh, we don't have the footage, it's erased. They're going to say that same shit to her too. Unless they have witnesses that will show up to court and say, yeah, he was saying beat her ass and we saw it. She can't do anything with it. She is like so stupid. Like, this whole playing dumb thing. Like, she really thinks her playing dumb is going to get custody of these children. But she is the parent, okay? She is the parent. She still has rights. But where was all of this energy, like when they were being taken away, is my question. Why in the world would she let somebody or the father of her children take her child, like where was all this energy then? Like she has this vendetta against Gerard, but Gerard was doing anything a father would do in a situation like that, right? If you saw this woman, and I'm going to bring it up yet again, okay? One more time for the bitches in the back. Okay, Olivia, you were going to give Zolo Benz a friggin' blowjob online on the internet for everybody to see. And I believe your children were there in another room. You were going to give a man a BJ online for the world to see, and you really think your baby daddy wasn't going to do anything about it? Like, you think he was going to leave the kids there? Like, you're crazy. You are crazy, lady. You are so crazy. So the way it works with the app, because I think they're communicating through this app. I keep hearing about this app. I happen to have a friend who also went through in the state of Texas, who went through like a custody thing, and they can only communicate through text messages. Okay. Now, I do believe that she's the one that called the cops on Antonisha and Gerard when they were having their housewarming party, because through that app, it's legally, they legally have to know, each parent has to know where each parent is residing. They have to know, and they have to know it through the app. They communicate through the app, but they legally have to know where the other is living. So if anybody was wondering how she knew where they were living when they had, or how they had the housewarming party, and somebody called the cops on them and they know it was Liv, that's how, because Liv is legally obligated to know where the kids are sleeping at night, and so does Gerard. and vice, that's just how it is. Okay. I just happen to have a friend who also communicates through the app and with her baby daddy, and that's how they communicate. And they have to know there's no going around it. Okay. I know this couple that I know of, one tried killing the other, and they are still legally obligated. Yes, I know crazy people. Okay. They are still legally obligated to know where the other lives. Okay. And there's just no going around it. Okay. All right. So with this woman, with Liv, you cannot give her any leverage at all. You shouldn't have been, okay, we can meet closer. You can't do that with her. You can't. You have to cut that shit out now. Okay. You have to, and I'm pretty sure he knows that now that, she's filing these false charges against him. At least you know now for the future. Don't play softball with her. Do not, do not, do not, do not give her any leeway. Don't. Because bitches like that, I'm telling you, my baby mama's like that. She's crazy. And after that one time when she did that shit and was playing with my money, I was like, no, 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 no. What we're not going to do is play by your game. We're not going to play this little game with you. We're not going to play by your rules. The ball's in my court. And that's how Gerard needs to, I don't want him to think that he's losing or she's going to have one up on him, because she's not. This is all just fucking spoken mirrors. In her fucked up, delusioned mind, she thinks she's doing something, but she's not. She really isn't. I mean, if you could just watch her lives with her children, that's guilt all over it, okay? Her children are walking all over her, and it's because she feels guilty because she had them taken away. Her children are already accustomed, they're stable, and that's what CPS is going to do. CPS interviews each child, okay? CPS interviewed my daughter, okay? Because when they're going to do a home study, and they're going to sit there for like 2 hours, and they're going to just watch you with your children. They're going to watch you with your children. They're going to sit your children down because they're old enough, except for the baby. And they're going to ask them, where do you want to go? What do and how does your mom discipline you? And what happens when this happens? And then they'll bring up any scenario and they'll ask the children. They asked my oldest daughter how I discipline her, what we do on an everyday basis, what do we do for fun? Like, they will pry, they will look in your cabinets, they will look everywhere. So I don't know if she knows what she's getting into. And those pills she's taking, they're gonna want to know. She's gonna have to have regular drug tests. She's going to have, and they're just going to show up one day. They're going to say, can you pee in this? Because they bring their drug tests with them. You don't go to a center. CPS brings the drug tests in their trunk, and you get the answers right then and there. Okay. Because my baby mama was telling CPS that I was unfit because I was in a girl on girl relationship and because I did drugs. Guess what? They used to bring the drug tests to my house, and I used to have to take them right then and there. So, how you doing? Okay. Next thing they're going to do is they're going to pry through your finances. They're going to see how much you really make. They're going to see if you can really financially take care of them. And if there's any history of suicidal thoughts or where you tried to kill yourself, guess what? You're going to have to be evaluated in order to be cleared to keep your babies live. Did you know that? How many times have you already tried to commit suicide to your ex-husband? Like, didn't you try to stab yourself one time or something like that? Guess what? All of that's going to come up. All of that is going to come up. And this is all thanks to you. So now your kids are not only uncomfortable now coming from house to house, because divorce is hard for children too. It's very hard for children. It is. But you know what? That was because of you not being faithful, you playing games with your husband, and that's all your fault, okay? That is all your fault. But they might even have to go into court and testify. At least the oldest one is. And they're going to tell the court themselves if it does go that far, which I don't even think this restraining order is even going to go past me, because how can you just assume that he was egging her on to kick your ass? Like, you can't just assume what people are thinking and state it as fact. Like, that's not how it works. And she could get in trouble. Like, what is it called? Like contempt in court or something like that, where oh, no, contempt in court is when, okay, you know how she's saying he can't drink or he can't whatever? She's going to have to do the same thing. He can't say disparaging comments, neither can she. So what is her content going to be if she can't? All this stuff she's putting against him goes on her too. It goes both ways. It's not just him. He has to stop. He has to stop doing this. He can't drink. She has to do the same things too. So I don't know what she is thinking or anything like that. And then if you ever notice, like she can't even take care of the children like by herself. Like her mom is always there with her. And there's hours and hours and hours of footage of her doing nothing, just laying around. And if you're afraid to go anywhere, well, how are you going to care for your children if you're so afraid to go anywhere? How are you going to buy them groceries if you're so terrified that somebody's going to jump you? Like how, they're going to ask her these questions like, "Bitch, you opened up this can of worms." Like she is not very wise, but if she wants custody of the children, which she's not being denied her children, a judge ruled that she was unfit for her children full time. So she's basically going against what a judge already said. So it's gonna be judge against judge. Okay. No, you know what's gonna happen? The judge is gonna see that there's already a ruling and it's gonna be thrown out more than likely, is what I think. But this is what she wants to do for content. She has nothing else going on in her life. She decides to use her children, the three of them, for content. And that's sad because these are their real lives. Like these children are really being this is a real issue. Like she doesn't really think about that. She says she's an empath and she thinks about her children, but how is pressing charges against their dad or always falsely accusing him of abusing her? Like remember when he pushed her at the police station? Like how is that benefiting the children at all? That's always going to be there. All this shit she talks on the internet, and like I said, I can speak on this because I've done it too. Okay? And I regret everything I said on the internet this year. I really do. Okay? But she really needs to think about what she's doing. It's not very wise of her. And if it's because of the child support aspect, this might be another angle that she's going. Okay? I think this is another thing that just came to me. Okay? She owes a lot in child support, back child support. So she's going to use like a blackmail tactic somehow, which is going to be weird because the only way they can communicate is through that app and it's going to be documented, because they don't talk on the phone. She's probably going to say, like, "Oh, well, I'll drop the case," like if she has one, if you take off all the child support. She'll probably say something like that. But all of that is going to backfire on her too because that's illegal. You can't do that to people. You can't say, "Oh, well, I'll take the child support off." I know people who sign over their children's rights or their rights to their children just so they won't pay child support. Weird. I gather she's kind of like that. I do gather that. But anyways, she should have thought about all of this before. And yes, I'm going to bring it up again because I can't believe she did that, where she was going to give Zolo a blowjob on live. Okay. And she was over there cross eyed, cockeyed, out of her mind, high off of whatever the hell she was doing that day. Okay. So all I got to say is she is dumb. She's not very wise. She thinks she's doing something, but she really isn't, because then what is she going to talk about? And then also, Gerard can turn around and say, "Well, I don't want my children filmed anymore. I don't want them on the internet." Then what's she going to do? That's her content. She's like the most boringest person I ever met. Like she has nothing going on. How she got that many followers? I don't know. Some people say she buys her followers, which I would believe that. I really would. But, she's just, what's she going to do then? Like, that's her only source of income. Oh my gosh, that's what he's going to do. He's going to say, "I don't want my children filmed anymore. It's violating their rights or whatever." And guess what? There goes her income. So then how is she going to support them then? So use that, Gerard. Use that against her and say, "Well, you know what? All right then. I don't want my children." And anyways, they don't even look like they're happy to film. Christian was crying the other day because he was hungry because she hadn't fed him all day. Like, I don't know about your kids, but my kids eat a lot. Okay. I have two of them. One of them's 8. His name is also Christian. Okay. And he eats a lot. Boys eat a lot. They burn off a lot of energy. And sometimes you feed them, and guess what? they're still hungry like 5 minutes later. That's just how it is with the boys, okay? The girls not so much, okay? Well, with my girl, the one I have. But anyways, I just wanted to say she is dumb. She's not very wise for doing this, and we can all see right through it. We can all see that she is only doing it for a specific reason, which one of the reasons I believe is for leverage, for the overdue child support that she hasn't paid. Like, how does she think he supports the children? Like, do people think that children, don't waste money? Like, look how much money she supposedly wastes while they're there. Imagine having them all the time, and those kids always look so nice when they're with Gerard. They always look all dressed up. They always have their hair combed. Like, I mean, they're always dressed very nice. So they don't miss the money, but it's the principle of the thing. Just because she's a woman doesn't mean she's not a deadbeat. Like, hello, you had a part in these children too, like, why do you get to go away, scot free? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot going on, okay? This is the first of 3 videos I'm doing on Live, okay? I'll talk to y'all in a little bit, okay? Goodbye.